Really proud of the players, the way they went out and competed against an SEC team, and played very well for a lot of the game. Just can't have a couple of the mistakes that we had, but there was a whole lot of part of the game where they executed very well. Guys played with great effort and did a lot of good things. So if you look back a couple years ago when we went to Florida State or even Washington State or some of those games, I think we've came a long ways.
That first the passing play to Hightower, do you think that really set the tone? And then what was the play call there? And was Calvin's first read on that play?
It is. It's a play we ran for a lot of years. To be honest with you, I ran the exact same play my last year at Arkansas against them in the same stadium. We were going the other direction though. It's just a play we've had in our offense for years. We call it dagger. So it's like bunch right, FPO 140Z daggers actually they call. And it's deep crossing routes, and so you got a high post, and then you got two guys crossing underneath. So it was a good way to set the tone.
Kind of how do you balance kind of looking forward to next year and all weapons you have on offense, but still want to finish strong because the seniors, this is it for them?
Yeah, so I think the first thing we got to do is for the seniors. We got to do everything we can to go out there this week. We've talked about it a bunch. You don't have school this week, so you get a lot of preparation. So I think that's the key, and we just got to go out there and do everything we can as every single coach, every single player, so those seniors can walk out of here with a win their last game. But then it's very exciting, looking forward to next year, especially with, all the young talent that we have coming back.
How special is the senior group compared to maybe the last few years, considering, this is the core that really chose to stuck with you in the program?
Yeah, I think they're real special. I hate to ever compare anyone to anyone else because that's kind of not being loyal. But, there's some guys in this class that have just done a great job. Dallas Sandberg, how much he's stepped up and led this year. Elijah Penny's, given everything he's got. Quentin Bradley is just, me and Quentin, those are one of the special things when you come in, and sometimes when you're first teaching things and guys aren't really totally sure, and we kind of went from here to here, and as close as I am to anybody right now, and all the seniors, and you just wish them all the best, and great thing is at December, every one of them except for one's going to graduate. So they'll all have their degrees by December, with the exception of one guy. So that's really encouraging and a great thing for all of them to be successful in life.
You're not going to a bowl game, but 4-8 would look really good. Are you guys treating this like a bowl game?
We're just treating it like the biggest game of the year for us. To be honest with you, we want to go out and play our very best game, and to send the seniors out with a win their last game, and to have all kinds of momentum going into the off season for everybody else.
How excited are you, next year on offense? Obviously losing two big pieces in Sandberg and Penny, but 9 other guys should be coming back. So how excited are you for that?
That's really exciting. I think that's something that you can really build on, and then a couple guys that redshirted that were really good players that haven't played all year. So you got a lot of guys that are very good players. So that's really exciting for the future.
Was there any strategy behind the way you shuffled the quarterbacks, or was it just getting them both?
I just told them both they were going to play. To be honest, initially I told Jake he was going to play in the second quarter, and then we had that fumble, and then I just felt, and then I just pulled him aside. I said, hey, I just don't want this thing to get too out of hand. I'm going to put Matt back in, but you're going to play. You're going to play a lot. Stay standing right next to me. So and a lot of it was just kind of a feel. Some of it was by what plays I was going to call. I think some things one guy does better than the others, and so it's just a way to play them both, and I thought they both did a really good job.
Are you still expecting Penny for Saturday?
Yes.
Plan to play both of them, both QBs on Saturday?
Yes.
Can you talk about the contribution your defensive seniors? They may got a lot more on that side of the ball. Pretty key players too.
I think Mark's made all kinds of tackles here for the last 3 years. I think you really. You got to take your hat off. He's played hard. He's done a good job for us. Ryan Edwards just kind of does all the dirty work. He doesn't really get the praise sometimes, but he's the guy that's holding down, trying to keep guys off the linebackers and doing a good job playing up front. I think Kalen Ayers has really played well for us this year and done a good job and made a lot of plays. And, I just think they've all contributed a lot. And, Brock's been a great leader for us and leads us in tackles right now. Brock's a 4.0 student since he's been here, so he's going to be really successful. So I think you wish him all the best, and just we got to go out there and get a win for him here this last game.
Does your schedule change at all this week without school?
A little bit because you can meet a little bit more because school's not in. So we got a walkthrough in yesterday where normally we can't do anything on Mondays, and we got to have a meeting and so just get to spend a little bit more time with them. So that's and I told them a couple of you hope to play at the next level, then you got to treat this week like you're a professional. Get in here and watch tape all day, prepare all day, and do a great job of getting yourself ready.
Do you have any team activities planned for Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, we'll have dinner. We'll practice early in the morning and then have our Thanksgiving dinner at lunchtime. So we'll have that, and then we've had study hall every day, so guys can catch up on that too.
You still have obviously a game left, but when you kind of reflect on this season, just with you've had injuries and obviously off-field distractions, how would you kind of describe this season?
Just a bunch of guys that really stuck together and had each other's back and showed up and worked hard every day and got better and really improved all season long, and just really proud of them because there's a lot of stuff that has happened, and they've never everybody's stuck together, everybody's fought for each other and really improved throughout the year, and let's go down in that SEC and play Auburn at their place and play as hard and as well as we did. I think that was really great to show all the hard work, what that's paid off, and then now we need to finish it here with a win at home.
Have you maybe learned anything about yourself as a coach going through all this?
Yeah, I think you try to learn every single day, and I think through all of it, I think I got a lot closer to a lot of the players. I think it made me have a lot more one-on-one meetings, make me pull guys into the room a lot more, maybe just go around and talk to them a lot more, and I think it's made me better. There's no question.
Do you think this is one of the more mentally tough teams you've had, given the off-field distractions, going to Alabama 3 times, playing well, playing without sleep against Troy and getting a win? So
yeah, I think the Troy game. I said that then that was as mentally tough as a victory as I've ever had, and I think they've been through a lot, done a lot of things, and so again, I hate to compare teams to other teams because you don't ever, there's a lot of guys that you've done things with, but there's no question these guys have definitely been mentally tough and definitely stuck together and fought hard all year long.
Interesting Texas State team, maybe some uncertainty with the coaching position, but struggled compared to years past.
I'm a huge fan of Coach Francione. I have been forever. I've coached against him, seems like my whole career, and so I think he's as good as there is in the business. And they do a great job of scheming and running the ball. So, we got to really do a good job of stopping their running back and their quarterback, and they do a really good job of all the different things they do on offense and running the ball. So we got to make sure we stop the run.
Dave, on the phone, do you have anything?
Yeah, Coach, how would you kind of, people kind of mentioned, kind of what it's all happened off the field and stuff like that. How tough has this season been, whether it's for you to kind of have to deal with some of that stuff and, maybe coming out of it a little stronger, I guess? Yeah,
I think a lot of it's been tough, but I think, it makes you get better. I think it's made us become closer as players and coaches. We've came together closer. I think our players have came closer together, and it just makes you grow. I think every day in life you're gonna learn from something and hopefully improve. And so I think it's made us improve. It's made myself improve, and I think we've really grown and gotten better. And I think that's really going to help us in the future. And the other thing that we should mention today, so if I don't forget, is Trent Cowan now is second in the country for receiving yards for tight ends, and that's a heck of a accomplishment for him.
You at this point, do you think you trying to look back again those two close games from the last big league, and maybe at this point could have been playing for bowl eligibility?
Yeah, that makes you hurt. Makes you lose sleep at night. It makes you think about it as you're driving home, as you're driving back to work. But you can't go back and replay it. But it's definitely something you want to learn from and make sure it doesn't happen in the future. And at least we were at least you can say we were that close to doing it, but you got to make sure that it happens here in the future.
And finally, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but it seems like you do put a little bit of stock into it about being able to kind of close out with the win, being able to carry over into those, the winter and spring and all that. How much stock do you put into maybe, getting a win and how that helps you springboard next year?
I think it can help a lot. I think, no matter what, you got to go into the off season and have all kinds of improvement and get better. But I think it really can help you for your momentum. So that's something big that we want to really go out and try to make sure that happens.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
When you look at those two games where you guys were leading away that much, can you still say that this program has come far enough to where you can lead by 3 touchdowns in a game, whereas 2 years ago that might have never happened?
No question. Especially the South Alabama game. That was, that's a team that we would have 2 years ago we would have never. I'm not sure we would have scored 24 points on a period, let alone been ahead. With that score. So we've definitely came a long ways, and now we just need to continue to improve. I think it showed up again last weekend. Now let's finish it home with a really good performance, and then get on the road on Sunday and go get some recruits and just keep moving in the right direction.
With some of the off the field stuff, has there been anyone you've tried to seek advice from as far as coping with that stuff, handling it? People that you've coached with, family members, anything like that?
I think you try to talk to everybody. I mean, I'm always gonna, my father and my brother are usually the first two that I talk to a lot. John L. Smith is the other guy I talk to that really tries to help. And then you have, I got a couple of good friends in the media, to be honest with you, and I've talked to those guys, and you just try to talk to whoever you can, former just people that I've worked with, and you just try to get help from wherever you can, and just try to move forward and get better.
With Dallas being the senior on the offensive line, what kind of leader is he? Is he one guy who leads by example, or what kind of leader is he?
He leads by everything, to be honest with you. He's kind of like he's almost like the grandfather or father of the group. He kind of takes them all in. He talks to them. He really helps them in everything. He just helps them in how to organize their schoolwork, how to get to, how to do better on the field. Dallas has been awesome. We'll really miss him. Sometimes we'll have to have somebody take over that role, that's for sure, because he's done a great job in that.
Was Dallas like that 2 years ago when you first met him?
He's came huge. He was really quiet. He hardly ever talked. He's really just. It started happening last year, probably in the middle of the year, and then in the off season, he really took that role on, and then he's even taken it 100 times more through this year, and that's just it's neat. It's neat when you see those guys grow up and change their personality and become better leaders, and how Dallas will be leading a company someday. He'll be leading something. I'll guarantee you that. He'll be a leader in life. That's for sure.
Have you noticed that maybe from other players who might have families with military backgrounds?
That's a good question. There was, I remember one of our linebackers that was our leader at Louisville was actually in the military himself, and that's probably, I guess, guys that have that in their family probably helps them become better leaders.
Overall, going just from signing day until going into the last week of the season, can you talk about the overall impact Jace has had on this team this year?
Oh, a lot. Jace is going to be great. I hope he's going to be here for the game. It was unfortunate that he couldn't come on the last 2 trips, but Jace just makes you a better person every single time you're around him. Every day I talk to him, whether it's on the phone, a couple of those away trips that he sat right with me on the plane, and just I don't even know if I can justify it in words, saying it good enough of how much better of a person he's made me. I know him and Coach Singovich are really close. I know him and a bunch of our players are close, and he's just such a special young man that is so upbeat about life, so stays positive all the time, and just he's always going to compete, and always he's going to fight to continue his life and be better every day. He got to go on that hunting trip. Got that, as soon as he got the big moose, he sent me a picture of it. He was just so excited about that, and Jace is just awesome. I don't really know if I can say it in words how great he's been and how much of an impact he's had on our team and on myself.